You don't call it anxiety. You call it thinking it through. But it's 11:47 p.m. You're exhausted, and your mind is still working overtime, running scenarios, replaying words, predicting what could go wrong. And the strangest part is this: even when life is quiet, your thoughts aren't. Stay with me, because by the end, you'll have a simple way to slow the spiral without pretending you feel fine and without turning faith into pressure. And listen, this isn't about trying harder to hear God. This is about what to do when your thoughts start acting like commands. Quick, 6 seconds. Feet on the floor. One slow exhale. Notice this. Your mind gets loud when your body doesn't feel safe. Let me tell you about a guy I'll call Chris. Chris is a good man. He loves God. He loves his family. He works hard. But the moment his head hits the pillow, his mind turns into a courtroom. He reviews the day like evidence. Did I say that wrong? What if I offended them? What if I missed something? What if the money doesn't stretch? What if the test comes back bad? And he tells himself it's just responsibility. But it doesn't feel like responsibility. It feels like his chest is bracing for impact. Some nights he checks his phone one more time, not because he wants to, but because the thought of not checking makes him feel exposed. And the more he tries to solve it, the worse it gets, because overthinking has a promise. If you think enough, you'll be safe, but it never delivers. Here's the conflict most people don't see. Overthinking feels productive, but it produces nothing except exhaustion. It feels like wisdom, but it's fear wearing a suit. And in a minute, I'll show you the shift that changes everything. But first, one truth that frees you from treating your thoughts like a boss. There's a scene in the Gospels that feels painfully modern. Jesus is in a home, and Martha is doing what many of us do when we feel unsafe. She starts managing, serving, fixing, handling, staying busy, so she doesn't have to feel what's happening inside. And the Bible uses a word that cuts through it. Martha was anxious and troubled about many things. Now listen, Jesus doesn't shame her. He doesn't call her lazy. He doesn't say, "Get it together." He says her name twice, softly. Martha, Martha. That's not a lecture. That's tenderness. Then he reveals the issue. You are anxious and troubled about many things, but one thing is necessary. Notice, Jesus isn't saying stop caring. He's saying stop carrying it alone. Because overthinking is often the soul trying to earn safety by managing everything. But here's the turning point. Not every thought deserves your trust. Some thoughts are not guidance, they're alarms. A loud thought is not always a true thought. And when you treat every thought like truth, your peace becomes hostage to your mind. Jesus is inviting Martha and us into something simpler than control: presence. Because peace isn't the moment your problems vanish. Peace is the moment your soul stops being alone. So let me say it plainly. Overthinking isn't wisdom, it's vigilance. And vigilance is what you do when you don't feel safe. Your mind isn't your enemy. It's a nervous system trying to protect you. But protection becomes a prison when your thoughts start leading your life instead of God's presence leading your heart. Stay with me, because the next part is a 1-minute filter you can use tonight. Not a checklist, not a spiritual performance, a 1-minute filter for the spiral. I call it the thought filter. Next time the loop begins, in the car, in bed, in the kitchen, do this. Step 1. Name the thought. Not the whole story, just the headline. This is the thought. I'm going to mess this up. This is the thought. Something bad is coming. This is the thought. I'm not enough. When you name it, you stop merging with it. Step 2. Ask one question. Is this a signal or a command? Because most anxious thoughts speak like commands. Fix it now. Figure it out. Don't stop. but many of them are just signals saying, I feel unsafe. Step 3. Return to presence. One sentence. Keep it simple. Jesus, stay close. God, I'm here. Hold me. Father, I give you what I can't control. Then choose one next right step, not the whole future. Drink water. Send one message. Write it down and release it. Turn off the phone. One slow exhale. Pick one. That's enough. And if the thought returns, you don't argue with it for an hour. You repeat the filter in 60 seconds. Overthinking doesn't leave because you win one big battle. It weakens because you stop feeding it attention. Chris didn't stop overthinking overnight, but something changed when he stopped treating thoughts like orders and started treating them like alarms. When the spiral hit, he would whisper, "This is a signal, not a command." Then, "Jesus, stay close." And slowly, his mind didn't become silent, but it became less powerful, because he wasn't alone in it. Here's what stays. You are not failing at faith because you overthink. You are learning how to stop letting fear drive the wheel. Not every thought deserves your trust, and peace begins when presence becomes your reflex. So tonight, when the loop starts, try the thought filter once, and if you're comfortable, comment one word: spiral or peace. In the next video, I'm going to show you how anxiety can live in the body and what it looks like to walk with God through it without shame. Until then, you don't have to believe every thought. You just have to come back to Him.